Evening all, and welcome to Tocancipa for round 5 of the Super Sprint Championship, our penultimate event of the season.
And what a season it's been. This is a championship that's gone right down to the wire in previous years, but Martin Mol has been really dominant so far this year.
He has, but with 4 races all taking place tonight, and with drop races still to come into play, we could still see the championship lead change hands.
We certainly could, and with all the drivers desperate to end the season on a high, we're in for an action-packed evening.
So as the cars form up on the grid, it's Mac McFarquhar who will lead them away this evening. A great qualifying for him to take hold.
It was, and he needs a good result tonight. He's currently second in the championship chase, 89 points adrift of Moles. A win here would be a great start to this event for him.
Championship leader Mol starts alongside him on the second row, so well placed to keep Mac honest.
Interesting to see Greg Sabo starting in P5. He's been on a great run of form recently in the AM class.
And we are racing. The lights go out and the field stream away cleanly.
McFarquhar getting away well from pole. And Rich Snape is on the move, getting past Nigel Walters to take P14.
Nice decisive move there from Snape, who's been making steady progress through the field. Greg Sabo looking very racy now. He's up to P5 after that move on Daniel Cochise.
Ooh, and that's a bit of contact with Elliot Norton. That's going to need a look from the stewards. And David Constableberry now up into the top 5 as he gets past Sabo.
He's having a great drive this evening, looking very strong. And Mol takes over second place. Astrop unable to hold him off any longer.
That's what Mol needed to do if he wants to maintain that championship lead.
Great move by Stokes. He's up to P7, getting past Fauvargue.
And Fauvargue comes straight back at him. That's close.
Yes, Stokes will have to be careful not to leave the door open again. Astrop gets past for the lead. Mol is struggling now.
And he's swallowed up by the pack. This is unbelievable.
He's down to P12 in a matter of seconds. A disastrous few laps for the championship leader.
Elliot Norton making a move for P3, and it's successful. He gets past David Constableberry.
He's really driving well tonight, Norton, putting in a strong performance.
Nigel Walters has found some pace. He's just overtaken Phil Bodkin for P14.
He's a long way off the points, though, but every place counts at this stage of the season.
Lindo is falling back through the field now. He's down to P11.
He is, and here comes Neil Constableberry to take advantage.
And it's a double overtake as Snape gets past as well.
This is turning into a disaster for Lindo. And Mac McFarquhar takes the checkered flag. A dominant display from the championship contender.
A perfect start to the evening for him. Pole, fastest lap, and the race win. And it's John Astrop home in second place. He picks up some valuable championship points.
A solid drive from him, but he'll be disappointed not to challenge McFarquhar for the lead. Elliot Norton comes home in third place, a fantastic result for him.
It certainly is. He drove a clever race, and that incident with Sabo early on didn't seem to hold him back too much.
So, a dramatic start to this Super Sprint event. Mac McFarquhar with a commanding win, but the story of the race has to be the demise of Martin Mol.
Absolutely. He dropped down the order like a stone in the second half of the race. And we have to mention Greg Sabo. He got penalized for that incident with Elliot Norton. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects the AM Class Championship battle as we head into the next 3 races.
So that result shakes things up nicely at the top of the standings. Mac McFarquhar closes the gap to Mol to just 64 points.
With 3 races to go, it's still a big ask for him to take the title, but it's certainly a lot closer than it was at the start of the evening.
Absolutely, and don't forget, we've still got drop races to come into play, so this championship is far from over.
A great drive from Elliot Norton to climb up to 19th in the standings. Those championship points are so important at this stage of the season. Well, this is an interesting looking grid. Sten Wallstrom on pole. That's not something you see every day.
It's the reverse grid for this one, so it's all to play for in the early stages. Those at the front will be hoping to hold on as long as possible, but you can bet those championship contenders further down the order will be aiming to make their way through the field quickly.
Absolutely. All eyes will be on McFarquhar and Mole, starting down in P17 and P8 respectively. They'll need to be careful in the opening laps and use their experience to pick their way through the traffic.
It's a great chance for some of the AMs at the front to try and grab a podium, but it'll be tough to hold off the pros and pro-AMs in the long run. And they're off. A clean start from the front row, with Wallstrom leading them into turn 1.
It's going to be all about keeping it clean in these opening laps. Plenty of overtaking opportunities here, but also plenty of places to get it wrong.
Mole wastes no time. He's already up to P7, picking off Walters and Snape in quick succession.
He's not hanging around, is he? He knows he needs a big result in this race after that last one.
Untidy driving from Norton, he spins McFarquhar and picks up a penalty. Those are valuable championship points lost for McFarquhar.
It's getting feisty down there in the pack. Not the start to the race McFarquhar would have wanted. He needs to keep his cool and pick his moments to overtake.
A-Strop's on the move, and it's Sabo who's the latest to be overtaken.
Sabo's down to P9 now, and here comes Stokes. Yep, that's another place lost.
Mac McFarquhar is really flying now. He's up to P8 after that move on Bodkin.
Ooh, and that's a coming together between Sabo and Bodkin. They tangled as McFarquhar went past. Looked like Bodkin might have clipped the back of Sabo.
And McFarquhar is right in the mix now. Up to P7, and he's looking for more.
Sabo is back up to P8. He's really fighting back after that incident with Bodkin. And McFarquhar comes out on top again. They're side by side, but McFarquhar holds the position. McFarquhar and Stokes are having a right old battle out there. They've swapped places about 5 times in the last lap alone.
It's like they're joined at the hip. Stokes holding on for the moment, but McFarquhar won't be denied for long.
And it's Stokes who comes out on top again. This is great racing from these two. And Daniel Cochise finally loses that P13 spot to David Constable-Berry. About time. He's been under pressure for a while now.
He's straight back past. That didn't last long. Contact. Bodkin goes for a move on Constable. Berry but runs out of road and they touch.
That's going to be investigated by the stewards, and it looks like Constable-Berry has dropped down the order. He's down to P15 now. Oh dear, that's a real blow for him.
It's incredibly tight at the front now. Favargue and Weller going wheel to wheel for second place.
And it's Weller who holds the position. But here comes Favargue again. They're right on each other's tailpipes.
Favargue up to P2. He's really putting the pressure on Mole now.
He is, but Astrop is right behind them now, challenging Favargue. This is anyone's race now.
Martijn Mole takes the checkered flag. A brilliant drive from the championship leader.
A crucial win for Mole after the disappointment of the last race. It's a photo finish for second place. Dominic Favargue takes it, but only just. A Strop right there with him across the line.
A brilliant fight back from both of them, starting P11 and P16 respectively. What a race. So, a vital win for Martijn Mole, bouncing back from that poor first race to extend his championship lead.
Absolutely. But we saw some brilliant drives further down the field, with Mac McFarquhar carving his way through the pack, and some great battles throughout. 2 races to go, and this championship is far from over. Well, that race didn't really change things too much at the top, did it? Mole extends his championship lead slightly, but McFarquhar is still very much in the hunt.
Exactly. It's still all to play for with just 2 races remaining. Pretty much. Don't forget, we've still got the drop races to come into play, so things could change dramatically.
And it's getting very tight in the AM Championship now, with Cochise, Whitehouse, and Weller separated by just a handful of points.
So, the penultimate race of the season, and it's Martijn Mole who will lead them away from pole position.
He'll be hoping for a clean start and a straightforward win to really take control of this championship. But McFarquhar, starting just behind him in P4, will be looking to close that points gap.
It's all eyes on the front 2 rows in this one. Stokes and Norton will be keen to get in amongst the championship contenders. And keep an eye on Daniel Cochise, starting P5. He's in a real battle for the AM Championship.
Absolutely. This race is crucial for so many of the drivers, with championship positions and pride at stake. It's going to be fascinating.
And we're racing. The lights go out and the field stream away cleanly.
Mole gets away well from pole, but McFarquhar is right there with him. This is going to be close.
Oh dear, that's not a good start for Neil Constable-Berry. He's been penalized for causing a collision with Jimmy Lindo. Multiple cars involved there. It looks like a racing incident, but the stewards have deemed Constable Barry at fault.
That's a shame for Lindo. He's having a tough evening. But look at Favargiu. He's up to P12 now. He's making the most of the chaos ahead of him.
Favargiu and Walters going at it, hammer and tongs. They've swapped places a couple of times now.
They're really pushing each other to the limit. Norton looking to move up the order. He gets past a Strupp for P4.
But Astrup fights back. He's back ahead, but for how long? Stokes takes the lead.
Mole fights back. They're side by side, but Mole holds the inside line for the next corner, and he takes back P1.
McFarquhar is looking very quick now. He's passed Stokes for P2, but he's got to be careful. He can't afford to take any risks.
Oh no, he's gone into the back of Stokes. That's a racing incident if ever I saw one, but the stewards have given Stokes a warning for that. The Strop losing ground now. Constable Barry and Cochise demoting him to P7 with that move.
He'll need to dig deep if he wants to get back on terms with the leaders. Big trouble for McFarquhar. He's tangled with Stokes again, and he's plummeted down the order. He's down in P15.
That's a disaster for his championship hopes. He's got to get back into the points somehow.
Oh dear, Jimmy Lindo is penalized for causing a collision with Dominic Favargiu. That's his second penalty of the race. He's having a shocker.
And he's lost more places as a result. Down to P12 now. This is not his night.
Martijn Mol takes the checkered flag here at Tocancipa. A dominant display in this penultimate race of the season.
He had to work for it, though. That was a race full of incident. Elliot Norton comes home in second place, a fantastic result for him, and it's David Constable Barry rounding out the podium.
A great drive from Constable Barry after dropping down to the back after that early incident. So a masterful drive from Martijn Mol to take the win, but his championship rival Mac McFarquhar had a race to forget after multiple incidents saw him drop down the order.
It's going to be all to play for in the final race of the season. Don't forget the drop races, folks. It's still anyone's championship. So, going into this final race, Mole has extended his lead at the top to 39 points. Can McFarquhar do enough to snatch the championship?
It's a long shot, but stranger things have happened. He'll need to win the race. I hope Mole has a disastrous race.
And what a battle we have for the AM championship. Cochise leads the way, but Weller and Whitehouse are right on his tail. It's going to be a tense finish. Well, this is it then, the final race of the season, and it's a reverse grid, which always throws up some interesting possibilities.
Indeed. Phil Bodkin finds himself starting from pole position, but you can bet he won't be expecting to stay there for very long.
No, all eyes will be on McFarquhar starting in P3. He needs to make a fast start and get past those slower cars as quickly as possible if he wants to put the pressure on Mole.
And Mole has it all to do from P15. He'll be hoping to stay out of trouble and pick up enough points to secure the championship. This is going to be a nail-biter. And the final race of the season is underway. Bodkin gets away well from pole, but here comes McFarquhar already challenging for the lead.
This is it, folks. One last chance for these drivers to leave their mark on this season. The atmosphere here is electric.
Favargiu is wasting no time here. He's up to P6 already.
He's looking very determined out there. Remember, he's had a strong season, but is yet to win a race. Astrop is on the move as well. He's up to P6 after passing Sabo and Walters.
It's crucial for those championship contenders to make up places early on in this reverse grid race.
Daniel Cochise is really putting the pressure on Sabo now, and he's passed. He's up to P8 and looking very strong.
A great move from Cochise, and remember, he's right in the mix for the AM championship title. It's getting a bit scrappy in the midfield now. Cochise and Walters swapping paint, and there goes Weller up the inside.
This is great racing. They're all over the place. And there's contact between Walters and Norton. That's going to be a penalty for Walters, I think.
He rejoined the track a little too enthusiastically there, didn't he? And now he's got a penalty to contend with.
That could be costly for him. He's dropped down to P13 now.
Mole is carving his way through the field. He's up to P8 now, but he's got to be careful. Oh no! Contact!
He's gone into the back of Bodkin. That looked clumsy from Mole. He needs to keep his cool. He's leading the championship.
The stewards are looking at it, and it's a penalty for Mole. That could be disastrous for his championship hopes.
Stokes is looking quick now. He's up to P9 after passing Constableberry.
He'll be wanting to end the season on a high after a slightly frustrating final event.
Sabo's back up to P3. He gets past Fauvargue and is closing in on the leaders.
This is turning into a real thriller.
Oh no. Constableberry has gone into the back of Weller. They've both spun off, but thankfully it looks like they'll be able to continue.
That's a warning for Constableberry. He needs to be careful. He's already carrying a penalty from earlier in the race. More drama. Norton and Weller collide. They touch wheels going into the corner, and both cars are sent spinning.
This is unbelievable. They're both back on the track, but they've lost a lot of time. This race has had everything.
Mac McFarquhar takes the checkered flag. A brilliant drive from the championship contender, but will it be enough?
A fantastic victory for McFarquhar, his 7th win of the season. What a way to end the championship. Daniel Cochise comes home in 2nd place. A great drive from him, and that could be crucial for his championship hopes. And it's Greg Sabo completing the podium.
Sabo has really turned his season around in these final few races. Well, what a race to end the season. Drama from start to finish, with collisions, penalties, and a thrilling battle for the lead.
McFarquhar did everything he could, taking the win and the full 24 points. But with Mole finishing down the order, the big question is, has he done enough to snatch the championship title?
So that brings us to the end of an incredible Super Sprint Championship. 20 races, countless overtakes, and some truly memorable moments.
Absolutely. And looking at the final standings, some real movement from that first race. Daniel Cochise deserves a mention, climbing up to finish 5th overall. A fantastic achievement.
He does indeed. And you can't forget Greg Sabo, climbing 4 places to finish 11th. A great recovery after a tough start to the season for him.
We've seen some great battles on track tonight, hard but fair racing, and ultimately it's Martijn Mol who comes out on top. Congratulations to him.